This is the Mercedes-Benz V-Class, a gargantuan MPV designed to appeal to well-heeled large families, active sporty types and companies offering luxury transport services. It's the third-generation Mercedes of this type, essentially a luxurious people carrier version of the Vito van. The V-Class resurrects the name applied to the first iteration and replaces the Viano. It has few direct rivals, but chief among them is the evergreen Volkswagen Caravelle. More recently the Citroën Space Tourer, Peugeot Traveller and Toyota Prius Versa have joined the fray, although none match the plushness offered in the Mercedes. There's also the long-in-the-tooth Hyundai i800, or if you're after something more left-field, and slightly more conventional car-like, then consider the less expensive SsangYong Turismo. Shedding its van image, Mercedes-Benz is keen to lose the V-Class's commercial vehicle ties and calls on contemporary design cues from the likes of the C-Class to add more car-like features, while an AMG line trim level complete with a sporty bodykit lifts the exterior further. There's a distinctive two-section dashboard design coupled with high-quality seat materials, again borrowing heavily from the look of the C-Class's cabin. Its swooping lines are a world away from the Vito's angular cliff of plastic. Inevitably there's a but or two, though. While its perpendicular flanks liberate masses of interior space, they ensure the outside remains van-like, while the low-mounted fuel filler flap, secured by the front passenger door, is a reminiscent not just of the Vito, but almost every one of its commercial rivals. Propulsion comes from Mercedes' venerable 2.1-litre twin-turbocharged diesel available in a choice of two power outputs. The V220D has 163 horsepower, the V250D offering 190 horsepower. Both transmit their power to the rear wheels via a 7-speed automatic gearbox. It's the less powerful of the pair that's marginally the more efficient, but the superior performance of the V250D makes it easier to live with. Spacious and practical, there are plenty of practical features including a separately opening rear window attached to the upper tailgate frame. When coupled with the flexible boot storage, this means items can be loaded into the vehicle without having to open the rather large rear door, handy for car parks where space is limited. The size of the electrically operated tailgate itself makes it ideal as a rain shelter, should a sudden downpour catch you out, and providing you've got the room to open it. Interior space in the V-Class is impressive. It's available in three lengths, standard, long and extra long, with a choice of 7 or 8-seater configurations depending on whether you specify a 3-seater bench for the middle row. The driver and front passenger get 4-hour lumbar support, as well as seat heating, while fully electrical adjustment of the seats is optionally available. Contemporary onboard technology is a Mercedes hallmark that's prevalent in the V-Class, including the combined touchpad and rotary dial multimedia controller. This clever bit of kit enables the driver to scroll through the various menus displayed on the screen with their fingertips, similar to how you operate a smartphone. There's a choice of infotainment systems offering the latest sat-nav technology, Bluetooth and even a Wi-Fi hotspot, although it uses your smartphone for tethering rather than having its own 4G connection. It's well equipped, too, with even the entry-level sport versions including a 7.0-inch multimedia screen with sat-nav, a full leather interior, LED headlamps, 2 electrically operated sliding doors and ambient lighting with 3 color settings. It is also available with a plethora of safety features, including blind spot assist to warn you of oncoming traffic from the rear, lane keeping assist that vibrates the steering wheel when you veer over the white lines, and Distronic adaptive cruise control. An optional 360-degree camera makes maneuvering this large car much easier and should be chief among the extras you plump for. The verdict: if carrying people and their luggage is a priority, then nothing else on the market manages it in such plush surroundings as the Mercedes-Benz V-Class. Its size may be intimidating for some drivers, and its height restricts access to multi-story car parks, but essentially it's both easy and comfortable to drive. Read on for our full Mercedes-Benz V-Class review to find out just how good the pinnacle of van-based MPVs really is. 2 diesels are all that are offered. Extra performance of the V250D is welcome. All V-Classes have a 7-speed automatic, while a lack of petrol engines for UK market Mercedes-Benz V-Classes isn't a surprise. That there's no hybrid version is something of a disappointment. For British V-Class customers, performance is served up by a pair of twin-turbo diesel engines. Entry-level Mercedes-Benz V220D under the V-Class's bonnet, and nestled under the windscreen and dashboard, in fact, is Mercedes' familiar, somewhat clattery, 2.1-litre diesel unit. In V220D guise, formerly V220 BlueTech, that equates to 163 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque from 1,400 revolutions per minute, meaning it's no sprinter. Top speeds quoted at 121 miles per hour, while the 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 11.8 seconds is no more than adequate. Thankfully, the 7-speed 7G-tronic Plus automatic transmission is excellent, with smooth shifts and sensible gearing for each ratio, allowing it to be settled at both urban and motorway speeds. It's only during spells of hard acceleration that the motor becomes raucous. Gutsy Mercedes-Benz V250D if performance is more of a priority, or for if you regularly drive out of town where gathering speed more quickly is useful, then the V250D, launched as the V250 BlueTech in 2015, is the V-Class to go for. To call it quick is an overstatement, but it's brisk enough to surprise other drivers with a 9.1 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time and a 129 miles per hour top speed. These figures are possible thanks to power being cranked up to 190 horsepower with a complementary increase in peak torque to 440 Newton meters, still on tap from 1,400 revolutions per minute. Variable driving modes. Some may argue that just because Mercedes has its Agility Select driving mode system it doesn't mean the V-Class has to have it too. But it does. Every time you start the car it defaults to comfort, a moderate throttle response, gear changes lower down the rev range and more supple damping for the suspension. It's fine around town, but when you need more response, and a slightly firmer feel to the handling, sport makes more sense, but be warned this will make the engine noisier as the gears are held onto for much longer. The remaining two modes are manual. Do you really need to drive it using the steering wheel paddles? And eco. This more fuel-efficient setting sounds worthy, but it's also very unresponsive and the miles per gallon uplift is negligible. Handling is better than its size suggests. Corners well, but body roll is ever present. V-Class handles best when it's being driven gently. It doesn't matter how clever you are, beating the laws of physics just isn't on the cards, and the V-Class will never quite be able to shake off its van-like handling characteristics. After all, in its lengthiest two guises, it's comfortably 5 meters nose to tail, almost 2 meters tall and over 2 tons in weight. However, Mercedes claims it has made great inroads to improving the experience for V-Class drivers thanks to the Agility Control, the latest generation of adaptive electronic stability control, escape systems and the car's suspension arrangement. Certainly the V-Class corners more quickly than its more traditional van-derived rivals, and resists understeer admirably, though a conventional car-based MPV will likely still outdo it on the same section of road. There is some noticeable body roll, negated a little in sport mode, especially with high-speed direction changes, but you soon learn to either trust the traction offered from the chassis or slow down instead. Drive the V-Class with the cruise control on and the car's own settings will slow you down if it deems that the speed and steering angle aren't appropriate. It does play this game a little too safely, but you can always override it with your right foot. Mercedes is aware of the limitations that such boxy packaging affords, and the intelligent drive system uses a variety of radar, camera and ultrasound sensors to improve the experience on the move. This includes crosswind assist to lessen the impact of lateral gusts billowing up the V-Class's flanks. In archetypal Mercedes style, the steering is on the light side and the V-Class's controls don't encourage you to press on too hard. It is, after all, a car that performs best when driven gently. Although the brake pedal itself is firm, the Mercedes stopping power inspires confidence, with an impressive ability to slow the V-Class down rapidly from speed thanks to ventilated discs front and rear. V-Class dash isn't remotely like the Vito vans, but the driving position feels like a commercial vehicle. C-Class-esque controls and interior styling abound. Climb aboard and it certainly looks impressive. The V-Class's forebears have been lumbered with the van dashboard darted up with some appliques and a broader spectrum of colored plastic, but this is altogether different. It borrows a similar layout and design to that seen in the C-Class and GLC ranges, along with a suite of its solid-filling switchgear. The curving dash top, which is finished in a leather-look material, flows neatly into the doors and feels far more grown-up and civilized than a van-based vehicle has any right to. In fact, the only real aspect that remains as a reminder of its commercial vehicle origins is the driving position, which, while comfortable, is high and upright. You can never kid yourself you're piloting an SUV. Quality is good, but will buyers expect more at this price? While the C-Class-like interior is a sound basis, It's worth remembering that the V-Class's pricing places it alongside the higher echelons of the E-Class range, and at this point it underwhelms a little, not quite feeling high enough quality in terms of grades of plastic. Still, it's night and day compared with the angular, hard plastic facade that Vito drivers face. The leather-clad steering wheel is comfortable to hold and features many of the controls required to operate the car's numerous multimedia menus and the central information display screen between the main instruments. Thanks to electric seat controls borrowed from the C-Class, it's easy to get comfortable behind the wheel, which is also adjustable for reach and rake. Although the view outside is excellent thanks to the enormity of the windows, the windscreen pillars are very chunky. Yes, there's a small triangle of glass ahead of the front doors in traditional MPV style, but in all honesty they're more to the benefit of exterior design, as you can see precious little out of them. A fantastic long-distance cruiser space and comfort for up to 8 adults. All-round climate control is effective considering its Vito van-based origins. Mercedes-Benz V-Class comfort is surprisingly good. There's little of the crashing, banging and rattling around over surface changes as found in many rivals, the firm claiming that a stiffer body shell reduces the vibrations that make their way into the cabin, while air suspension adds to its pliancy. At speed especially the ride quality is impressive, managing to float gently over most road imperfections with an ease akin to Mercedes executive saloons, although it has to be noted that with just the driver in the car the V-Class feels less well planted. Thanks to best-in-class aerodynamics, wind noise is rarely an issue, despite door mirrors the size of spades. More obvious is engine noise under hard acceleration and tire roar, especially when there are few people in the car and the vast cabin acts like a mobile echo chamber. That resonance from driving on sections of concrete motorway quickly becomes tiresome. The seats are leather-clad, with the front ones electrically adjustable and heated for a fee. Integral armrests ensure you feel suitably hemmed in, while those in the rear are equally sumptuous and adult-sized. Middle row seats, whether you have the 3-seater bench or the pair of captain's chairs, can face forwards or backwards, while all of the back seats can be slid around on floor-mounted rails. They fold forwards and can be reclined, although if you intend to remove them in order to make use of those van-like internal dimensions, then you'd best get a few workout sessions at the gym under your belt first. If you have the Burma Store upgraded speaker system, there's even a voice amplification system to ensure the driver can hold a civilized conversation on the move with those in the rearmost set of seats and vice versa. Climate control is, mercifully, available in all 3 rows, with a separate temperature control for the rear compartment and 4 roof-mounted vents. Even on hot days it soon cools down the cabin, although with such a large volume of air to chill it is invariably noisy for the first few minutes until the desired temperature is closer to being reached. Ventilation can be improved further by opting to have the side windows open at their trailing edges, rather than winding down like the glass on the front doors. There's an aesthetic downside of this arrangement as the chrome look strip along the base of the windows is deleted, making the V-Class look more van-like as a consequence. Only 2 trim levels in the range, both are well appointed, though vast range of options available. Ignore the 3 lengths and the different seating configurations, and the V-Class is a relatively simple range, with a pair of trim levels available on both of the engine options. Standard Mercedes-Benz V-Class MPV equipment. Sport entry point to the V-Class range it might be, but the Sport isn't spared niceties from the equipment list. 18-inch alloy wheels, LED headlamps and tail lights, rear privacy glass, panoramic glass roof, long versions only, roof rails with anodized finish, electric side doors, electric tailgate with separately opening tailgate glass, electrically folding door mirrors with auto-dimming rear view mirror, active parking assist with reversing camera, tri-colored ambient lighting, audio 20 multimedia package with Garmin sat-nav, Napa leather upholstery, heated front seats with integral armrests, AMG line. Choose the range-topping V-Class, not for extra performance but for a boosted kit roster. 19-inch alloy wheels, AMG bodykit with different front and rear bumpers, side sill extensions and a tailgate spoiler, metallic paint, carbon fiber look, interior appliques, chrome air vent bezels. Optional Mercedes-Benz V-Class MPV extras. Like every other car in Mercedes range, the V-Class is available with a wide range of optional extras, many of which are on the pricey side. Safety-specific options are covered in the section below. Included in the exhaustive list of options are 7-seater layout with pop-up table in lieu of 8 seats, long and extra long versions only, Standard length V-Class has 7 seats without a table. Upgraded common multimedia system with 8.4-inch screen and internet access capabilities. Burmester surround sound speaker package. Electrically adjustable front seats with memory package. 360-degree camera system. Load compartment divider with 2 collapsible boxes. Full 5-star rating from NCAP. Raft of safety kits. A standard optional driving assistance pack is worthwhile. Mercedes-Benz has a long-established reputation for vehicle safety, so it's no surprise that when the V-Class was crash tested by the experts at NCAP, it was awarded a full 5-star rating. Standard across the range are child locks for the electrically sliding rear doors, automatic wipers and LED lights front and rear with automatic main beam and brake lights that glow brighter the quicker the rate of deceleration. A self-parking function is standard, but we would recommend complementing that with the optional 360-degree camera system. Attention alert monitors the driver for signs of drowsiness, while the collision prevention assist feature benefits from autonomous emergency braking to mitigate against lower speed accidents. Crosswind assist stops the V-Class from wandering around the road in high side winds, especially at higher speeds in open areas. Key safety options include lane tracking package. Lane keeping assist vibrates the wheel when the car ventures over lines on the road, with blind spot assist flagging up markers in the door mirror glass if the car detects another vehicle approaching from behind. Driving assistance package adds to the above features with pre-safe that monitors the potential for an accident and primes the safety systems, including tightening the front seatbelts and Distronic adaptive cruise control. How many ISOFIX points does the Mercedes-Benz V-Class MPV have? All V-Classes have 4 ISOFIX points. On bench seats, they are located in the center and offside positions, while captain's chairs have a set each. Vast interior with space for 8 3 lengths available. All RME seats are very heavy and hard to remove. Much through the firm wants to distance itself from such comparisons. Being based on a van means Mercedes-Benz V-Class practicality is almost exemplary. Certainly there's no need to worry about running out of interior room, and leg, shoulder and headroom are available in abundance thanks to the vast cabin. There's genuine space for up to 8 adults and their luggage. Unless you need 8 seats, we'd recommend the 7-seater package complete with a handy pop-up table on long and extra long V-Classes. It works particularly well when the middle row faces backwards, creating more of a lounge feel in the back. Folding the seats is an easy job, as is sliding them around the cabin, though removing them completely is a job for 2 people due to their weight. Slotting them back into the rail system requires a degree of deftness that further slows down the operation. Slightly disappointingly, there's little stowage space for odds and ends around the cabin. There's a covered cubby at the base of the dash with a couple of cup holders and USB points, complemented by well-sized door bins and a glove box, but other than 4 cup holders in the back, that's it. The dimensions relate to the V-Class extra long, but the regular, 4,895mm, and long, 5,140mm, versions are hardly compact. Inevitably, the nose of the longest version will poke out of most car parking spaces, but in spite of that, and its width, it's the V-Class's height that restricts where you can park it. At 1,880mm tall, it's too high for many multi-story car parks. Check in advance before you pre-book parking. The load space behind the rearmost seats is similarly impressive, offering up to 1,410 liters with the seats in place on extra long versions. Remove the rear chairs and that jumps to 4,630 liters. Even with all the seats in place, the most compact V-Class will swallow 610 liters of luggage, the long up to 1,030 liters. The tailgate glass can be opened separately too, perfect for tight spaces where the vast boot door is just too large to open properly. We'd strongly recommend the optional luggage area cover with its fold-out carry boxes located within it. They're great for containing smaller groceries rather than have them roll around on the boot floor. Mercedes does suggest that the V-Class is also aimed at active outdoor sports people, as well as families and business shuttle services, but we're not sure many will be able to stomach throwing in muddy bikes or sandy surfboards into such a lavishly equipped cabin. However, a selection of roof boxes and tailgate-mounted cycle racks are available.